which team in LA would you think, Draymond, based on your experience, is the better bunch?
I have a hard time picking against the Clippers.
Who do you think's going to win the West this year? Clippers? Clippers over the Lakers.
Clippers or Lakers?
Clippers.
Why?
I think their pieces fit together a little bit better.
Clippers, on the other hand, have a team that completely bought in last year with no superstars. You had two of the most selfless superstars in the game that go both ways. Obviously, Paul George's shoulder is going to be a big concern, but I think it's the Clippers' championship to lose this year.
The Clippers not only have the best defensive versatility in the league, yes, the Lakers have a height advantage, but the three-point shooting of the Clippers with Lou Will and Trez on the floor, the Clippers are the best team in basketball.
The Clippers, because of their depth, because of their versatility, especially between guys that are 6'2 to 6'9", they got the most of them in the NBA that can really play. So I'm going with the Clippers.
The Clippers are loaded, and this is going to be like an advanced, organized version of rec ball. They're disruptive defensively. They're the best team in the league at defending isolation plays. That's why the Clippers are my choice to make it to the NBA Finals out of the West.
Well, it's safe to say that based on the historic amount of slander that we witnessed, unless you're a Clipper fan, you are reveling in their epic collapse against the Denver Nuggets. And even though this was a complete team failure from top to bottom, you don't have to look far beyond Kawhi Leonard and Paul George for reasons as to why they lost Game 7. Because you tell us, Stephen A., how many did those two combine to score in the fourth quarter?
Zero!
It could have been, an emotional trigger.
Zero!
But did they really choke, or was that just a product of great Nuggets defense? Let's hit the tapes to find out.
Porter, Paul George, three-pointer won't go. Shot. Porter wide open, just missed. George trying to get it on track. Goes inside, throws it high off the glass. Porter.
Bricking two easy shots to open the fourth quarter, this is a classic case of pandemic P taking over. See, on this one, I think Kawhi actually made it more difficult than it needed to be. He got a favorable switch onto Plumlee, but he hesitates to go up with it, and instead of driving to the lane, he forces a pretty terrible mid-range J.
George against Murray. Drives, double teamed, up top to Green, throws it away. A 10-point Denver lead, their largest of the game. Leonard can't hit.
You can usually count on Kawhi to knock that shot down. Not sure what went wrong there. George made a nice play here, so what does he do on the next possession? Yep, bricks a wide open three. A lot of people criticize Kawhi for passing to Marcus Morris here, but I thought he made the right read. Then again, he could have easily baited Jokic, who was in foul trouble at that point.
The Clippers right now have no answers for the Nuggets. Leonard for three. They've gotten a number of second shots, though. George, way off.
Let me tell you, nothing warms my heart quite like seeing Paul George do shit like this in the playoffs. And the fact that it came right after Kawhi missed his own three, that is just mwah. Hey, but thankfully, the best player in the world would never score 0 points in the fourth quarter, right? Alright, I think this is as good a time as any to bring up what George said after the game. This still has me in stitches, by the way.
Fact of the matter is we didn't live up to that expectation. But I think internally we've always felt this is not a championship or bust year for us. We can only get better the longer we stay together and the more we're around each other.
Yeah, try telling the front office that gave up 5 draft picks to get you that this wasn't a championship or bust season. And at this rate, if you're not opting out after 2021, Kawhi definitely is, so good luck with that. Here's another factor that led to this Clippers collapse. This quote. After the game, it was revealed that several Clippers were so fatigued during Game 7 against Denver that they struggled to play stints longer than 3 minutes and asked out of the game for a breather in the fourth quarter. So I guess that means if this was a regular season game, Kawhi would have been sitting out with load management. Is that it? Maybe try not letting that go to Game 7 after you're up 3-1 and had double-digit leads in Games 5 and 6. Don't get me wrong. The Nuggets deserve a ton of credit, but they quit. In the biggest quarter of the season, this team quit. It's pathetic to see, and I have no sympathy for them. If there's anything we learn from this series, it's that it doesn't matter who's playing for them, even if it's the members of the 95-96 Bulls all in their prime, which this team was allegedly supposed to be. As long as they're the Clippers, never, ever pick them to advance past the second round.